Ranking Tower Defense Simulator Towers.
Scout is now the worst tower in this game. So useless. Demoman, he is terrible. Good crowd control, but that's it. C tier. Paintballer. When he got buffed, he got better. Well, not really. He is still mid. Better than Scout, though. Sniper. Hunter is better. B tier. Sledger.
I miss the old
Sledger.
chop up the soul Sledger.
So, for this tower, not really special. He went down after his nerf. I wish he had defense melting too. Medic. Mid-tower that's only used for cleansing overall. She needs a buff. Pyromancer, so outclassed by his golden variant, fell off too. Soldier, one of the best starter towers, relatively cheap for being good. Hunter, not really a starter tower, more like intermediate. But he's the most powerful starter tower, so I'll give him that. Freezer, his buff made him good. Even though he's not better than Cryomancer, Freezer definitely needed the rework. Necromancer, one of my favorite control towers. But not that good, sadly. Too expensive. Shotgunner. The nerf kinda made him terrible. He's still a good speedrun tower option. There's gonna be lots of towers in this one. Cowboy, I don't use him that much, but Farm is better. Rocketeer. This used to be B tier, but I changed my mind. He's a damage per second crowd control tower. Insane. Just the dead zone is annoying. Mortar, actually. Rocketeer and Mortar are debatable. I chose Mortar because Rocketeer has a dead zone. Warden, at least he's not outclassed by Brawler in any way. Well, except for speedrunning. But he's one of my favorite towers. Golden Pyromancer, from what I said, that Pyromancer fell off. Yay, his golden variant too. Militant, he sort of fell off. But hey, I'll give him an extra point for being one of the best towers to buy as a beginner. Golden Soldier, his buff was amazing. Got nothing to say, but I would say that he's better than Militant. Minigunner, buff was cool. We definitely need Minigunner to rise again, since 8K coins ain't that worth it for Minigunner. Crook Boss, not that bad actually. His buff is amazing, making him usable in most cases. Golden Scout, I'm kinda disappointed that you can't place 3 scouts anymore on Wave 0, but on the bright side, more damage equals more damage per second. It wasn't necessary, but it's worth a shot. Trapper, one of my favorite towers. He's so versatile, makes him one of my favorites. He can catch leaks, and he can help your damage per second towers on dealing more damage. Commander, this tower needs another buff. The range is terrible and less expensive upgrades. You're in this tier since you're still important, unlike Medic. Gladiator, one of the best starter towers. He also sort of fell off, but he's still a speedrun tower. Ace Pilot, this tower is close to being versatile, but it just sucks on bosses, even with Figure 8. Aside from that, Ace is not bad of an option. Good crowd control. Turret, this tower definitely needed that rework, since it had no reason to be used, since it had expensive upgrades and outclassed by almost every damage per second tower. Now that it got 400 damage per second, its range is one of the appealing parts. 100k plus upgrades is alright. Golden Crook Boss, this tower got into the damage per second tower section. Amazing. Besides that, he's gotten better, but carried by his goons anyway. And hey, flying detection. Brawler, so close to S tier. 300 damage per second is a lot, but for some reason it didn't belong to S tier. Asides that the best speedrunning tower. Golden Cowboy. Even though he's better than Farm, I still think Farm is more suitable for me. You can debate on this, but I still think Farm is better. But both of them are just more money. Military Base. The nerf of Airstrike was alright. It didn't change much aside from losing 500 cash. Relatively cheap for being one of the best spawner towers. Accelerator, he fell off, sadly. But he's still S tier though. Pursuit, yes, I glaze Pursuit, but I love it. Because of one feature, it can't be debuffed. Yes, his targeting sucks, but what you know it, every damage per second tower has flaws. Electroshocker, oh my goodness gracious. Finally, you can stun on level 0. I'm so happy, but he's actually one of the best support towers in this game, since his stunning ability is very valuable. DJ Booth. People say he's bad. I disagree. Even though his placement cost doubled and his upgrade cost too, this tower is forever the most important support tower. Mercenary base. With just one mercenary, you can still have the best amount of damage per second in a game. Even though it's map dependent, you can use its damage buff to its advantage. Farm, I would say that this is the best tower in this game, but now, I think not. Sometimes you can go eco-less and still win. It's still S tier because it will stay on the loadout of a player. Gatling gun. This new tower is so strong you can control this tower too. Making it one of the best towers, the placement limit of one is reasonable since you can only control one of them. Ranger. The unreasonably buff made him better. More damage per second and sort of cheap upgrades is worth it. One of the best and most important damage per second tower. Golden Minigunner. I mean, I know it's bad for soloing, but 222 damage per second is just too good of a tower, and the downfall of Accelerator is insane. The #1 tower of all time is, of course, Engineer. This tower is worth 4,500 gems, no questions. She's too versatile, lead, flying, and also hidden detection. Man, Engineer, you're insane. She did get a recent nerf, but it didn't stop her from being the best tower in the game. She has flaws that sentries can't be buffed, but she will always be the best damage per second tower ever.